So what we have here is a very basic, very short, approximately 10 to 15 minute game of Hyperleague Racing that I've set up. So what you have is 2 race gates, a start line, finish line, race gate 1, race gate 2. The objective being to start behind this line, travel through both race gates, and have your base wholly behind the finish line. In Hyperleague Racing there's several different types of terrain, and in this video I'm just going to quickly go through some of it. Firstly, start and finish line. Simply put, is where you start wholly behind the line. Finish line, as I mentioned before, the base must wholly go over the line. The next thing to look at is space objects. Now, space objects cover a wide range of things, like asteroids or space junk. Okay, I'm using some of the prototype tokens at the moment. The prototypes are a little bit more dull than the actual game tokens. So in the actual game, a lot of these will be a lot brighter and a lot more vivid. But the way these work is, if your base touches a piece of space junk, your racer crashes. In Hyperleague Racing, a crash just means that you return to the middle of the last race gate that you went through. So if I crashed on these asteroids, for example, I've gone through race gate 2, I would just go back to the middle of those 2 race gates and place my racer there. Second thing to look at is wormholes. Wormholes are these brightly coloured ones over here. If any part of my base touches a wormhole, I get a d6 and I roll a dice. You'll notice I have an odd numbered gate and an even numbered gate. I roll this, is an even numbered gate, I move to the middle of the even numbered gates. Had I got a odd number, unfortunately I would have ended up there, so there's a bit of a risk and reward mechanic there. Next one to look at is black holes. So over here we have a black hole. If you are within 3 inches of a black hole, several things start to happen. First, all ships starting their race phase lose 1 speed within 3 inches of a black hole. Before you make your race phase, you have to declare how fast you want to travel and then make a handling check. If you pass this, you may carry on regardless. However, should you fail, you are dragged 2 inches towards the black hole, and if at any point your base touches the black hole, you crash. Next thing to look at is nebulas. Nebulas are a giant gaseous cloud which clog up engines and stop you from flying forward. In this instance, before you make a move that will potentially touch a nebula, you have to make a handling check at the speed that you are intending to travel at. So in this one here, I have Banshee. Banshee is going to go at speed 3, so I need a 4 on her handling check. I roll that and I get it, so I can fly through as normal. However, if I'd have failed that, she would have stopped at the point where she touches the nebula. In her next turn, when her next turn comes around, she is now starting in a nebula. Again, she has to declare how fast she wants to go and make a handling roll to try to break free of it. She again is going to say, I want to go at speed 4, and she rolls her dice. She makes it so she can power out. Should she have failed, then she travels at speed 1, 1 inch forward. Next and last thing to look at in this demonstration is a moon. In the core game, there is a 2D moon template. However, I'm using this 3D one here because it's very pretty. A moon, if you are within 2 inches of a moon, you may use the slingshot maneuver. Otherwise, it acts in exactly the same way as space junk or asteroids and space objects. And that is a basic rundown of the types of terrain in your basic game.